The Beqaa Valley, also transliterated as Bekaa, Biqâ and Becaa and known in classical antiquity as Coele-Syria, is a fertile valley in eastern Lebanon. It is Lebanon's most important farming region. Industry also flourishes in Beqaa, especially that related to agriculture. The Beqaa is located about 30 kilometers east of Beirut. The valley is situated between Mount Lebanon to the west and Anti-Lebanon Mountains to the east. It forms the northeasternmost extension of the Great Rift Valley, which stretches from Syria to the Red Sea. Beqaa Valley is 120 kilometers long and an average 16 kilometers wide on average. It has a Mediterranean climate of wet, often snowy winters and dry, warm summers. The region receives limited rainfall, particularly in the north, because Mount Lebanon creates a rain shadow that blocks precipitation coming from the sea. The northern section has an average annual rainfall of 230 millimeters, compared to 610 millimeters in the Central Valley. Two rivers originate in the valley: the Orontes, which flows north into Syria and Turkey, and the Litani, which flows south and then west to the Mediterranean Sea. For the 1st century BC, when the region was part of the Roman Empire, the Beqaa Valley served as a source of grain for the Roman provinces of the Levant. Today the valley makes up 40% of Lebanon's arable land. The northern end of the valley, with its scarce rainfall and less fertile soils, is used primarily as grazing land by pastoral nomads, mostly migrants from the Syrian desert. Farther south, more fertile soils support crops of wheat, corn, cotton, and vegetables, with vineyards and orchards centered on Zaleh. The valley also produces hashish and cultivates opium poppies, which are exported as part of the illegal drug trade. Since 1957, the Litani hydroelectricity project, a series of canals and a dam located at Lake Arizun in the southern end of the valley, has improved irrigation to farms in Beqaa Valley. Districts and towns. Zaleh is the largest city and the administrative capital of the Beqaa Governorate. It lies just north of the main Beirut-Damascus highway, which bisects the valley. The majority of Zaleh's residents are Lebanese Christian, including those who are Melkite Greek Catholic, Maronite Catholic, and Greek Orthodox Christians. The town of Anja, situated in the eastern part of the valley, has a predominantly Armenian Lebanese population and is also famous for its 8th century Arab ruins. The majority of the inhabitants of the northern districts of Beqaa, Baalbek and Hermel are Lebanese Shia, with the exception of the town of Deir el-Ahmar, whose inhabitants are Christians. The Baalbek and Hermel districts have a Christian and Sunni minority, mainly situated further north along the border with Syria. The western and southern districts of the valley also have a mixed population of Muslims, Christians and also Druze. The town of Jibjaneen, with a population of about 9,000, is situated midway in the valley, and its population is Sunni. Jibjaneen is the governmental center of the region known as Western Beqaa, with municipal services like the emergency medical services, a fire department, and a courthouse. Other towns in the western Beqaa district are Makhara, Sabgin, Kamad al-Laws, Qabi Elias, Somor, Yomor. These towns are all a mix of different Lebanese religious confessions. Raicha al-Wadi, east of the western Beqaa district, is home to Lebanon's share of Mount Hermon and borders Syria also. The district's capital, also Raicha al-Wadi, is famous for its old renovated souk and what is known as the Castle of Independence, in which Lebanon's pre-independence leaders were held by French troops before being released in 1943. The southern section of the district is inhabited with Druze and Christian Lebanese, while the other northern section is mainly inhabited by Sunni Lebanese. Due to wars and the unstable economic and political conditions Lebanon faced in the past, with difficulties some farmers still face today, many previous inhabitants of the valley left for coastal cities in Lebanon or emigrated from the country altogether, with the majority residing in the Americas or Australia. Landmarks: the ancient Roman ruins of Baalbek, an ancient city named for the Canaanite god Baal. The Romans renamed Baalbek Heliopolis and built an impressive temple complex, including temples to Bacchus, Jupiter, Venus, and the Sun. Today, the ruins of the site of the Baalbek International Festival, which attracts artists and performance groups from around the world. The Umayyad ruins of Anja, Our Lady of Bekaa, a Marian shrine located in Zaleh, with panoramic views of the valley. Lebanon's tallest minaret, located in the town of Khirbet Ruha. The Sanctuary of Our Lady of Beirut, Phoenician ruins located in the village of Kamad al-Laws. Roman ruins located in the town of Guabialis, the Amic wetland habitat for a myriad of migrating and resident birds and butterflies. The Pyramid Tower of Hermel at the northern end of the valley. The famous Wadi Arish area of Zaleh, consisting of beautiful open-air restaurants, cafes and arcades located on the riverside of the Burdani River, a stream linking to the Litani. Wines. The Beqaa Valley is home to Lebanon's famous vineyards and wineries. Winemaking is a tradition that goes back 6,000 years in Lebanon. With an average altitude of 1,000 meters above sea level, the valley's climate is very suitable to vineyards. Abundant winter rain and much sunshine in the summer helps the grapes ripen easily. There are more than a dozen wineries in the Beqaa Valley, producing over 6 million bottles a year. Chateau Car, Chateau Cafraya, Chateau Cowrie, Chateau Ksara, Chateau Marcias, Chateau Musar, Chateau Canafar, Clos St. Thomas, Domaine de Bâle, Domaine des Tourelles, Krum Cafraya, Masaya. Illicit drugs. Drugs have a long tradition in the Beqaa Valley. For the days of the Roman Empire until today, cultivators and tribal drug lords working with militias built up a thriving cannabis trade. During the Lebanese Civil War, cannabis cultivation was a major source of income in the Beqaa Valley, where most of the country's hashish and opium was produced, a multi-billion-dollar industry fueling the agricultural sector as well as political factions and organized crime. The trade collapsed during the worldwide crackdown on narcotics led by the United States in the early 1990s. Under pressure from the U.S. State Department, the occupying Syrian army plowed up the Beqaa's cannabis fields and sprayed them with poison. Since the mid-1990s, the culture and production of drugs in the Beqaa Valley has been in steady decline. By 2002, an estimated 2,500 hectares of cannabis were limited to the extreme north of the valley, where government presence remains minimal. Every year since 2001, the Lebanese army plows cannabis fields in an effort to destroy the crops before harvest. It is estimated that this action eliminates no more than 30% of overall crops. Although important during the Civil War, opium cultivation has become marginal, dropping from an estimated 30 metric tons per year in 1983 to negligible amounts in 2004, due to increasing political unrest that weakened the central Lebanese government during 2006 Lebanon War and 2007, and due to the lack of viable alternatives. Drug cultivation and production have significantly increased, but remain a fraction of Civil War-era production and limited north of the town of Baalbek, where the rule of tribal law protecting armed families is still strong. Image gallery.